Good morning, everyone. This is Leslie Jouflas with Trading Live Online, and welcome back to another segment of your Daily Five. This is the show on StockCharts where we've got 10 minutes to present five charts. And today I'm going to update the indexes. I haven't done that for a little bit, but I'm going to start and show you how I analyze price ranges. I'm going to use an intraday chart and then tie that into a little bit longer term chart. I'm going to try and do all this in 15 minutes or 10 minutes. And then we're going to look at the NASDAQ, the QQQs, and the Dow Jones Industrial, and then a pattern, a Gartley Buy pattern that has just recently completed in Bitcoin. Here's my website and here's my email, so feel free to contact me if you like. Okay, so here we're starting with a chart of the S&P 500. This is a futures chart. You can use a SPY chart. You can go to the SPX chart and use that as well. The FOMC is having a two-day meeting. Today's the first day, and tomorrow is the announcement. The announcement usually comes out about 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 Pacific Time. And that can sometimes cause some volatility in price. And so it's good to sort of have some levels of price mapped out. So this chart is giving us a good picture of this current price range that has formed. For right now, we had a breakout yesterday above this 42.38. That's sort of the main price level. The price had been hitting at these highs here. They were all-time highs, and then a breakout to the upside yesterday. But notice how many times down here on the lower end of this that the price had tested this 4,200 level. So that right now currently makes this 4,200 level an important area for the market to be able to hold if it does come back down to that area. Now, the ranges, when I'm mapping out a range, I always look for that center line. And it's going to be, I usually eyeball it right in. I'm looking for these price areas where price is clustering around, testing up, testing down. And so I drew this dashed line across, and that's right about the 4220 area. Now, notice over here, from around the beginning or so of June, that 4220-ish area, the dashed line in the center, how many times, the price came up, down, and around through it. So the last few days, the price had started to hold that 4220 area. Now, a lot of times when you can see this type of price behavior, that can give you an early indication as to a direction. Now, down here, again, yesterday, there's a little A, B, C, D buy pattern down here on a test of that 4220. And then in the afternoon, the market broke to the upside. So now that also makes the 4220 an area of support to be keeping an eye on. So this can help you gauge the strength or weakness of breakouts. So this morning, I did this chart yesterday on this breakout upside, and this morning the price is testing back down into where the breakout level was. So again, it gives you a good sort of roadmap to be using. Okay, now there is a mix of patterns, and they're not all bullish. And on Thursday, June 19th, I'm going to be a guest on David Keller's The Final Bar. So I hope you tune in for that, and I'll be showing you particular daily pattern on the S&P 500. Now the NASDAQ, here's a chart of the NASDAQ. This is a daily chart, and it has been reaching new highs the last couple of days. And this is sort of a preview for David Keller's show on Thursday. And although this index is at new highs, there are sell patterns forming. Now back here, April, right up here in this area, completed what's called a butterfly sell pattern, had a retracement to the downside, also an A, B, C, D buy pattern, and then the market turned up from there and has been climbing to the upside. However, now there's another butterfly sell pattern forming. So I've mapped that in. So I'm using up here these April highs. That's the first swing. Then to the downside, it turns up, and now it's forming an A to B to C and to D up here. The ABCDs, when they extend above where that price pattern starts, that's what makes it a butterfly pattern. It sort of looks like butterfly wings. So there's an extension up here, Fibonacci extension in 1.27. That's taking the length of this X to A, multiplying it by 1.27 and adding it to the low and extending it up. Now, whether the price gets all the way up here or not remains to be seen. But just knowing that there are these patterns forming, we want to be aware of that and monitor. Again, using those intraday ranges is a good tool to use to see where the support or the resistance areas, the weakness comes in, etc. Now, there may also be, if the price on NASDAQ does come up a bit higher, we may also have a one, two, a three drive pattern as well with that. Now, these pink dashed lines down here that you see, this is a larger ABCD cell pattern. So if this market were to pick up some more upside and above this 127, then that's the area I would be watching. But I do monitor the progression of these patterns to, make sure that the structure of them is staying within the bounds of what it should be doing. Okay, so sometimes also the patterns will fall short of where these completion areas are. And if it's a sell pattern, then that's a sign of weakness. If it's a buy pattern, then that would be a sign of strength. Okay, now the QQQs are very similar to the NASDAQ. Again, butterfly sell pattern formed April, had a retracement and has been moving to the upside. And so again, I think seeing the number of these patterns forming, the market may be ready soon for some correction to the downside. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial has not made new highs with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and the Qs. So there's a divergence in the indexes. Now, there was an A, B, C, D sell pattern that completed in early May. And there has been, a sell-off from that and then an attempt at new highs, but the index has not been able to come up and make new highs. Now, I've drawn in two shorter term trend lines to keep an eye on. And you can see here that it's breaking this trend line. So this would be the next area to watch to see if that holds as support or breaks. Now, what I'm watching is to see those other patterns on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 using the range intraday that I showed you how I look at that and how I map that out to see if prices are starting to break some of those support areas. Again, with the FOMC announcement tomorrow and price volatility, what can happen after an FOMC announcement is that within a few days after the announcement, the price the price can take a specific direction. So it's not always on the FOMC announcement day. Okay, and finally, I wanted to look at today Bitcoin. This formed a Gartley Buy pattern. So that's a retracement pattern of a new high or low. And in this case, this low down here. So we know Bitcoin came to the downside and found some support down here, had a rally to the upside, then formed this A, B, C, D buy pattern that formed and started to get a bounce. Now, I believe that this is only a corrective rally in Bitcoin. And I did a few weeks ago a segment for your daily 5. I did not think Bitcoin was going to new highs anytime soon. You can look that one up if you like. Sorry, I don't have the date of that, but it was recently. So in here, right here, I have these pink lines. In case it does get going to the upside, it may form an ABCD sell pattern. That would be a Gartley pattern, a retest of these down moves here. So keep an eye on that. But currently there's a smaller little ABC D sell pattern. So just have to see how the price reacts right here. Now, if it just sort of flutters around, doesn't break these lows down here, then these pink lines could still be intact for that pattern to form. And again, I'll be monitoring it. But if we look down here, look at the MACD, this is the MACD histogram down here at the lows. And you can see these big momentum lows that it's made to the downside. And the RSI is just sort of hovering down here at these lows. Now, as price rallies up, the RSI will probably get up to maybe around the 60-ish, 65-ish area. And then my expectation is that wherever price is at that point, will start to roll over and probably do some more testing. It may just be forming a larger range at this time. So that's it. That's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. If you like these types of patterns, please visit my website. I've got a great 3.5-hour course. You can kind of kick the tires with this type of approach to the markets, or just give me an email. I'm happy to send you the link to that. So I'll talk to you soon on another Your Daily 5.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.